Welcome to episode 26 of the XrmToolCast. In this episode, Jonas and I invite Ivan Ficko to come and talk to us about his new tool, the Pcf Generator. You may know Ivan around the community as the Dynamics Ninja. And in this episode, he talks about his new Yeoman Generator to help kickstart your Power Apps component framework project. So if you are into PCF or you want to be into PCF, this is definitely an episode for you. We also compare and contrast what it is, how it works, and compare it to the PCF custom control builder that we talked with earlier in episode 12 with Dinesh Nagakar. So, let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the XrmToolCast. With me, your host, Daryl, always raising the bar, and my co-host, Jonas, the PCF tool noob rap. How are we doing, Jonas?
Well, I'm back to school feeling really noob in the PCF area, so it'll be really interesting to have a chat in this episode.
Yeah. So because I've created one PCF control, it's my job to make fun of you for never creating one before. So
yeah, you're the experienced one.
Yes. So I'm going to be the experienced one of the group, having had one under my belt, and you get to be the noob. But I think basically what that means is we're both inexperienced and both noobs in this, which is why we invited our guest on the show today. So our guest today is Ivan Ficko. I'm totally mispronounced your last name. Why don't you give a proper pronunciation for me, Ivan?
It was close enough, Dave. But
okay.
It is Ficko.
Ficko. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll work on that for the intro, but that's okay. Cool. So Ivan, you've got a new tool that you've been sharing out there called the PCF Generator. So no, neither Jonas or I are PCF experts by any means, but if it's a well-named tool, which I believe it has, I would think it helps you with generating your PCF tool.
Yeah, you are correct. It helps you to kickstart your project and jumps right into PCF development rather than spending your time on scaffolding all the project by yourself.
All right.
So I'm since you mentioned a properly named thing, you should understand what it does. And when I look at it on GitHub, it says generator-PCF, not PCF generator. Is that some sort of web developer thing that you start by, that you flip the words around, or does it just not make sense?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. I call it the other way around because the convention with Yeoman.
I knew there was a convention.
There is a convention. You must name your generators, generator-something, and then when you call it, you just subtract that generator part and call it just PCF. You're good to go.
Okay, so we immediately get into some details here. You mentioned the Yeoman. Again, I'm the noob. What is Yeoman and why?
Oh, Yeoman. Yeoman is the tool that helps you to make the project from scratch. You just input some of the inputs asked by Yeoman, and it's a command line tool, so it will prompt you with some questions. You answer those questions or just pass the parameters, and you will kickstart your project with all the things that you inputted in. So, for example, you pass the name of your project and the plugin. So the PCF generator is Yeoman plugin, will generate the project for you based on the inputs you.
All right. So Yeoman is some sort of the sort of scaffolding framework that you're using with your PCF generator. Maybe
your public is now mostly used with V4 templates used by Visual Studio and .NET development, but this one is mostly focused on the front-end part.
Okay. Yeah, and this is Yeoman, Yeoman, not Yo Man, but Yeoman. So
I always
just to call out for those that maybe Googling it later. Although Yeoman or then Yeoman would actually sound a little more friendly, but that's okay. It's actually a town in Indiana too, according to the Googles, as I go and look at it. But anyway.
So I think we actually got ahead of us just a little bit. Ivan, you are a fairly new MVP. You have yet to have your full year under your belt. Tell us a little bit about your MVP journey and tell us a little bit about you as well.
Oh, my MVP journey. So it all started, I think, a year ago or 2 years ago when I started my blog. And I started blogging about development stuff, mostly in Dynamics based Dynamics 365. But with time, I almost focused only on the pure dev stuff and making the tools around, Xrm Toolbox tools, these PCFs or stuff like that. But my first focus was blogging. I'm not into video stuff at the moment, but I'm planning to do more videos to explain the tools better that I made. So like tutorial for my tools, for example.
Okay. Yeah, totally. And you actually have an online persona that probably people may know you by more so, or English is my first language. I can't even see how to say it. They may know you better by that persona. What's that persona? Why don't you go ahead and share that?
I think that most of the people saw some red ninja around, and my persona is Dynamics Ninja. That started back in the days when we had like one person in Croatia that was called CRM Samurai, and the people in my office told me, "Yeah, you were doing karate and stuff, and we'll call you CRM Ninja." Okay, maybe there was already a CRM Ninja around, so I thought, let's go with Dynamics Ninja then.
So you were not the first ninja in the area, because I know there are a few.
Yeah, there are a few. It's, I think, CRM Ninja, Dynamics Ninja, and
probably MSCRM Ninja and D365.
Flow Ninja. I saw the Flow Ninja. Yeah,
all the ninjas.
Yeah, all the ninjas out there.
But you actually do have some martial arts background, though.
Yeah, I was doing karate for 12 years or so.
All right. So remind me not to get in a fight with you, because I have done no karate. I did do wrestling in high school for one match, one meet. I do a 50-50 record, so one person, they didn't have anybody in my weight class, so I won by default. Another one I won by decision. And another one I lost by decision. Another one I got completely manhandled. It was like fourth. He was like fourth in state last year. And I just knew how to play football, American football, and I tried to like tackle him like an American like style football tackle. And I slipped, fell to the ground, and pinned me. So that match was all of about 8 seconds. So hopefully, I'm assuming your skills would probably be besting me in that area. So awesome. So that I didn't know that was the actual reasoning behind that was you were kind of a spin-off of everyone saying, well, if someone else is the samurai, you must be the ninja, huh?
Yeah. That's right.
I do like the logo, the keyboards in the background. Those are supposed to be in place of your ninja swords, I'm guessing then?
Yeah, that's my developer sword.
Yeah.
A keyboard,
right.
yeah. And there's also a Fetch XML on the back. And if you know, it's matrix style, but it's actually Fetch XML in the background.
Jonas, how do you feel about that?
I feel I'm quite behind on the artistic sort of a profiling there. I have my blue and yellow stuff, and that's all, and it's ugly, but it's you, blue and yellow.
Yeah, that is very good. So did you create that logo yourself, or did someone create it for you?
No, I did a Fiverr thing.
Okay. Well, cool. That was a good Fiverr. That's impressive. I like that. Yeah. I like that. Well, it's money well spent on that, I guess. So awesome. So okay. So now we got anything else we should know about you? You are from Croatia, correct?
Yeah, I'm from Zagreb, Croatia.
Okay.
That's true. And
what else about you?
Everybody in the community, I think, knows that I'm a DJ because when they talk, and he's a DJ. Yeah, who cares?
So are you still doing that? I know you did something, you sort of like online DJing on Twitch.
Yeah, that's called, so basically it's called bedroom DJ. because most of the time I do live sets from my bedroom, and I go live on Twitch, and that's mostly on Sundays as my stress relief, as the stress relief at the end of the weekend. So, but at the moment I didn't do a stream for a month or so.
Imagine your
Maybe
audience's,
this weekend I
imagine
need
the
to do.
surprise of your audience when you start going on DJing next Sunday and then, oh, and now let's look at a tutorial for the PCF generator. We'll take a short break. Maybe you might convert
Yeah.
some people.
And maybe.
Maybe there are quite few developers out there in the audience, but nobody is focused on naming space, so it sucks.
Nobody. There are some, just not a lot. Yes, it's a niche of a subset.
Yeah.
I've said before, I used to do a lot more videos, but then I realized that I get like 80 views for like 6 hours to 8 hours worth of work. And I did one video where I just took me, I was fixing a part of my car, and so I just took a video of how to take the panel off my car, and it was just on a whim. It was with my camera, phone. It wasn't anything fancy at all, and that has like over 10,000 views. It's by far the highest, most viewed thing on my channel. And
I
like,
think
maybe I need to
I
invest
think
my time
more people
elsewhere.
have cars than people develop plugins.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
most likely.
Yes, apparently that is the case. So back to the PCF generator. So this is a command line tool then, an exe then?
So you install it by npm, included as
Okay.
npm package.
It's an npm package you're installing, okay?
Yeah. So you install npm package, and by the simple call of yo PCF, you're ready to go. The generator is
Okay.
live, asking your questions, and you just go
So
with the flow.
it's a hold your hand sort of approach to go through and figure out, okay, what do you want this to be called, and maybe what do you want this folder to be in, and that kind of stuff, and it just goes out and builds out the SCADA folder that you need.
Yeah. Mostly the same thing that you do with the Power App CLI.
Okay, so this is like a shell on top of the Power App CLI. Or does it do any more magic?
Yeah. It's a shell over Power App CLI, so it does everything that Power App CLI does when it comes to generating files for you. But then I do some more sample code generation out there, and also installing all the dependencies. If you want to include React or Fluent UI, you just, okay, I want to use Fluent UI plus React. You choose it. It will install all the dependencies for you. You don't need to know how to spell those, which I'm bad at when I need to install npm dependencies.
What?
And at the end, it initializes Power App Solution for you, and that's a few separate commands in the CLI that are. I found it really hard for the people that are starting to build PCF controls to remember those controls and to call them in the right order. They don't know in which folder they need to be to create the solution, to link that solution with a control and stuff like that. That's why the tool helps you. You don't need to remember all those stuff, just spin up the generator and it will do everything for you.
And this is all npm based. So basically, from my understanding, this is the equivalent of the PCF builder that we had Danish on this last summer. That's built into the XRM toolbox. This is one that's built into just npm. Then, correct? Is that basically the idea then?
Basically, what I talked to Danish, what he wanted to achieve with his generator, he wanted to provide the UI for every single control command out there, and I wanted to make an ultimate generation tool that will prompt you to the death, like Danish called it. You don't need that much prompts, but I want everything to build now. I don't want to go back to generate something. I want to build everything from T0, and when you spin up the generator, you have everything ready. You have even a solution ready, so you can just import it on the environment.
Part of all the prompting is also that I guess you want to actually give the control to the one using it to specify the namespaces, to specify the names and sort of everything, and not just assume things. So you'd rather prompt for it or you pass it on the command line.
Yeah, you basically do the same thing when you're using PowerUp CLI. It also prompts you for the namespace, for the control name, for the template. But I added some other stuffs that I needed. So, for example, it prompts you if you want to use any other npm packages, for example React, or maybe React plus Fluent UI. And when you choose that, it will add all the dependencies you need for that kind of development on those frameworks straight from the zero-base generation. And when you when you run npm install, it also runs for you at the end of the process. It will install all those dependencies for you.
Yeah, I just tried it before we started recording here, and even for me, I'm not a web developer. I'm not very familiar. You heard me. I didn't even know what Yeoman was, and I had to install npm and everything. But it worked really smoothly, and I actually do understand what's happening there more or less. And well, then you just open that folder in VS Code, and well, I'm ready to start actually implementing my control. So it worked really smoothly. So is that what I should see here, or what am I missing from my first impression here? That I get the code, I can well compile within air quotes and to get my control. Is there anything else it does for me?
The initial initialization is
Yeah.
that what it does, but recently I added one sub-generator, and I will add more with time. And the first sub-generator is, let's think of a sub-generator as some subscript that will run for you when you need something else to be added to your project. For example, translation files. You need more translation files. With the initial initialization, you got resix for English, but if you need any other translation file, you can just run pcf resix command, and it will prompt you that you choose the language that you want for your resix file. And if you're familiar with resix, you need to include LCID, so language code ID, for each resix file, and that's pretty hard to remember. You can't remember all the language codes that you need, and with this tool you can just select the language from the list. That is just basically a name, so it's called German. You select German, and a resix file for German language will be added to your project too. That's a really great thing, because when I was adding translation to my projects, I was always where to find LCIDs. So Google LCIDs, okay, German here, created by myself. And also the other thing is where to find a simple resix template. You need to copy paste the whole template because it's huge from somewhere, and the tool just goes boom, here you go, it's generated for you. That's one of the sub-generators, but I will add more in the future, of course.
So, Ivan, do you have a lot of experience with PCF controls already? Have you created quite a few of these things, or if you just noticed, hey, I did this once and this is horrible, I don't want to ever do this again, and so that's why you went through and created the tool?
Actually, I made a few, and
okay.
I think at the moment there are 8 open source that PCF gallery,
Okay.
but I have a few more that are project specific on my project.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
which one is your favorite that you created?
My favorite is the most simple one, and it's clipper control that allows you just to copy the text to the clipboard. That's the one I use the most at the moment. So simple input control with a button on the right that shows you click here to copy to clipboard, and you're good to go. Paste it anywhere.
So can you use it with any type of data, or is it text, single line text fields only? Or?
It's at the moment it is single line of text, and I think
Okay.
URL.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah. I would have thought you'd say something that's flashing and colors and everything is happening and spinning, and it's a simple text field with a copy. But I mean, that's usually the case. It's the simplest things that are really the things that you're using.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very, very true.
So have you got any other interesting coming, or what could we expect from you?
Regarding the generator stuff.
Yeah, both generator and if you have any other PCF controls coming up.
Oh, for the generator, I want to expand it a little bit more to support people that are new and
People like me.
yeah, people like you. So kickstart you with sample code.
Yeah.
For example, to generate a simple control straight away, and when you are finished with the process, you can try to import the solution and see if the solution is generated properly. I don't know, some input text shown in a div. I don't know, but that you can see that your control is actually working when it's generated.
Yeah.
And for example, some basic CSS point you how to modify that CSS's RSX files and stuff around it. The second part I want to include is a GitHub action generator template. So you can generate a GitHub action XML that can be triggered on your PCF control repository, and so you can create manage unmanaged solutions and publish them straight away with a simple commit.
Oh, right. So you push your changes to the repository, and that would kick in the GitHub action that produces the
GitHub action,
the artifact like a solution as a release on GitHub.
Yeah, because most of the people start with a PCF and they don't include the releases part, so they don't pack their control into solution and publish that as a solution. Because if you don't publish it as a solution, people will mostly not use it because they need to compile the stuff by themselves. Yeah, that's the big part.
That makes
So
sense.
that helps everybody that has their tools out in the PCF gallery to make sure they're doing that, right?
Yeah, and
so it's even helpful for people that have already created a tool that and maybe they're not as much of a CDS experience or background. Maybe what's this tool thing? Why do we or a solution thing? Why do we have to do that? That would even help them as well then.
Yeah. And the final thing that we're working on is to include the generator inside the PCF Builder VS Code extension. So make it even more friendly. People are mostly used to UI things, not the command line, so maybe they're scared. I know a lot of developers that are scared of command line, and that's weird. Because you must do most of the things via command line, but I want to integrate it that way. If you're familiar with VS Code extensions, you got like pop-ups that are waiting for prompts, and I want to make it that way. So you input the data from the VS Code prompts and pass all the things to the Yeoman generator that is included in a PCF Builder VS extension, also via npm as a normal package and executed in code as you do with other third-party libraries. And I want to make it third-party libraries friendly, so you don't need to open the control, but use it as a module inside your code and pass the parameters in.
That appeals to me because I've come to realize that over the years I want more and more UI. I want to go away from. I mean, command line. That also requires that you remember what you should type there, and I obviously don't anymore. I'm so old. But but so one of my questions would be why would I use your generator instead of Danish's external toolbox tool where I can click and so on. So is there any sort of vital difference in what they actually do, or is it just different shells on top of the CLI?
The PCF generator for PCF builder, not generator, for XrmToolbox by Danish is mostly focused on the commands that are included in the Power App CLI, and they just provide you an interface. Then you can click around and execute those controls. This generator is built to do more than just CLI stuff. For example, add RSX templates, CSS samples, a preview image. That's what I was talking about
really
lately.
Good.
Because people are not using preview images for the PCF controls. Because it's not included in the manifest file that is generated by Power App CLI. So I also add that manifest and add a sample preview image, so the people know that they just need to replace that image that I created, and boom, you have your preview image ready to go. And when you pack it in a solution, it will show up in the configuration when you configure
so it's
control.
easier to do it right when I sort of get this half-baked.
Yeah,
or
because
not
you
half-baked
see,
in a bad sense, in a good sense.
yeah, because you see, oh, there is an image folder.
Yeah.
How can I use it? Oh, let's just replace that image and I'm good to go.
I have to tell you, I mean, I think the main reason I still haven't created a PCF control is that once I get an idea, maybe I want to do that, it's already available in the PCF gallery. And someone else has already thought about it. And you want to, I mean, I need to find a reason to do something other than I want to do that, but a little bit better. So I still haven't done it. And now I have an idea. And of course, I'm not going to tell you because then it would be already out there within 2 days. but it's based on being a what do you call it, data set type of control, not a field. Is that even how you express it? It's not a field control, it's a data set control.
Data set control, yeah.
So what do you say it's what's the sort of learning challenges there compared between the field controls and data set controls? Is it vitally different, or?
The most things that you can do with a field control are already there. Everything is working. You can debug it straight away from the PCF harness that is provided by the Power App CLI. But when it comes to dataset, some things are not yet there in the harness, and you actually need to pack your control, push it to your environment, and test it there.
So that's like the situation was for field controls as well before they had this testing harness and so on.
Yeah, but the testing harness was released 2 weeks in after the initial release, so it was pretty fast, but it's still not that stable for the dataset controls. That's why there are a lot less dataset controls on the gallery, because people need to actually do the hard work to test the component by themselves, by importing it to the organization. Yeah.
Okay, so it will not be 2 weeks before I'm done with my control, it will be 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Yep. Setting yourself up for failure, Jonas. I like it. I
know. Yeah.
You mentioned, Ivan, VS Code. Just curious, I guess they're both Jonas and Ivan. How much of your time is spent in VS Code doing your development work versus Visual Studio?
I like the big brother Visual Studio a bit more.
Okay.
But lately, the most things I work with are with VS Code, little brother, because I do mostly front-end stuff nowadays. I don't know why, but that's the kind of work I do at the moment in my company. But I started to like it more and more when I explore all the extensions and stuff around it. When I found out about PCF Builder extension by Danish, I was shocked and I was like, oh, I need to have that straight away.
Could you tell me a bit more about what that does? The PCF Builder. I'm sorry, now we're talking about someone else's tools, but that's all right.
Okay, so Danish created that VS Code extension that allows you just to execute the commands that you have in Power Apps CLI, but you don't need to know all the exact commands, how to run it. You just go open the command line there and you go PCF Builder and it will show all the commands you can do with it.
Okay.
So PCF Builder in it, and then it will just prompt all the things it needs to create the initial project for you, just like the Power Apps CLI.
Okay, so it's basically like his XRM Toolbox tool, but within Visual Studio Code instead.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're so
All right.
correct.
So we got 3 different things doing more or less the same stuff, except yours does preview images and as well.
And yeah, at the end, I want to integrate all those tools, for example, that GitHub action templates by Naturage, include everything into the PCF Builder at the end, and look at that, how that works in harmony.
Yeah, okay. So you see that as sort of the base for this whole area of different tools and gadgets around PCF control.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's good to know.
All right. Well, any other tools you want to talk about, Ivan? Or should we move on to how people can get a hold of you?
Any more tools that I created, that I like, whatever?
Yeah, like you mentioned you've created a few, or at least some XRM Toolbox tools as well.
Actually, I published only one, and that was the tool for embedding your Power BI reports into the forms easily, and not by editing XML by yourself.
Yeah, that's
also
right.
Providing you UI to just pull in the drop downs and set everything up, and you're good to go. Publish, and boom, report is there.
Yeah. We waited a few years for Microsoft to make a UI for that, and they didn't. So you did. I think that's probably the most common story behind tools from the community. Oh, Microsoft is going to do this. Oh, well, they didn't. Let's do it.
But when?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I needed it yesterday. Yes. Yep. Running into that right now with the deprecation of some of the JavaScript in the actual form, client-side form. So I'm like, I need it yesterday, and I still not hearing exactly the clarity I'd like to hear. But anyway, that's me. That's not what this is about. So, Ivan, you've created some tools. You're a new MVP. There's you have at least some martial arts and karate, I think you said. And you're known as the Dynamics Ninja. How can people get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of you and ask you questions or to follow you?
They can follow me on my blog. That's the knowledge base on my side, and it's dynamicsninja.blog. So that's where everything started. You can catch me on LinkedIn just by typing my name in the search, or on Twitter, that I'm active on my handle Dynamics Ninja.
Awesome. And Jonas, how do people get a hold of us?
Oh, they do by reaching out on Twitter at XrmToolCast, or just like Ivan, we are on LinkedIn as well. Just search for XrmToolCast there. And then you can finally email us as well at cast@xrmtoolbox.com.
Awesome. Well, Ivan, thanks so much for being on. We really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the tools, and congratulations on being awarded an MVP back, I guess, somewhere around October, huh?
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yep. Yep. It's always great to have people that help us to do the stuff that we don't have time to figure out, and then when we have to go do it, it's already been figured out. So, yes, you have a special place. You and your type of people, a special place in my heart.
Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, we'll talk to y'all later, and have a good one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
This has been the XrmToolCast with Jonas Rapp and Daryl Labar. If you have any questions for Jonas or I, or suggestions for future episodes, please send them to cast@xrmtoolbox.com or tweet to XrmToolCast.